You already know what time it is, man. We are back here to serve some more game on the ground for them hungry hounds who just got out the pound and are ready for the next round. That being said, you already know what it is with the mid-season allergies. I mean, over here where I'm at, bro, the weather, the environment, it goes from being cold to hot to cold to hot to cold to hot, just back and forth, back and forth. One week, it might be pretty cool, 40s, 50s. Next week is gonna be like in the 70s, like mid 70s, upper 70s, sometimes maybe low 80s. And I'm just like, man, if you don't choose a weather to be and just stick at that weather throughout the rest of the season. But no, Mother Nature does what Mother Nature does. At the end of the day, there's nothing that you can do to stop Mother Nature from doing what it does. With that being said, man, we are going to be talking about greatness in this episode. Greatness from small beginnings, as what your boy Nathan Drake would say. Shout out to the Uncharted game. Them games were real fun. Boy, I grew up playing them games. Them games made me want to do some crazy stuff. Made me want to start doing the same stuff that they show you in the games. But yeah, man, y'all understand that greatness. Let me go ahead and do this real quick, just in case it didn't sound. Y'all understand that greatness is something that you have to chase. Just like how people chase their next fix. Just like how some people chase their next drink. They chase their money. They chase their next check. Whatever the case may be. Greatness is something that you have to taste or chase. And you will not fully chase it until you taste it. That is a fact. Greatness is like a substance that you are constantly going back to. You just want more and more and more and more of it. You have to taste it to chase it. Because when you don't know what it tastes like, you don't have as much of a drive to chase it. You don't have much of a quote unquote motivation, some people would say. You don't have the energy, the want, the desire, the hunger and thirst to chase greatness. But when you taste it, you understand what it tastes like, what it feels like, how it makes you feel, how it makes you feel like you're somebody, how it makes you feel like you've accomplished something, how it makes you just want to keep going in the thing that makes you feel great. Until you truly chase it, you will never. Until you truly taste it, you will never truly chase it, and that's 100% facts and not opinion. I understand because I have tasted greatness multiple times before, and the multiple times before that I had tasted it, during those times in my life, I never really paid much attention to it, so to speak. I never paid attention to how it made me feel. In the moment, yeah, but afterwards I was like, okay, it's over, what's next? But as you get older and you realize that as a man in life that you want to be great, you want to be something, when you taste greatness, you start wanting it even more and more and more. And the thing is, when you start chasing that greatness, guess what it's going to do? It's going to drive you to work harder. It's going to drive you to become better. You're going to start working out more. You're going to start working more. You're going to start getting more stuff done. You're going to start getting more money stacked up. You're going to start doing all these different things in the name of chasing greatness to become great. The same way how people taste the angel dust or the flower or whatever the case may be, and they like how they felt. They like how it made them feel in their mind. It's the same thing with greatness. When you taste greatness, and you understand how it makes you feel, you're going to want more of it, which is natural because we all have a desire deep within us to be great. It just depends on whether or not you act on that desire to achieve greatness. That's what makes the difference between the winners and the losers, the warriors and the cowards, is that the winners, the warriors, they act on their desire to be great. The losers and the cowards, they stay. I'm going to get you up on out of here real quick. Real quick. Come on now. There we go. The losers and the cowards, they don't act upon their desire to become great. they don't walk down that path. They want to remain comfortable. They want the very easiest way possible to achieve it. It's just like what your boy Top G said when he was talking to Aiden Ross, and Aiden said, "Yo, hey, what's the quickest way I could possibly get a six pack?" Top G said, "Why does it have to be fast? Why does it have to be easy? It should be hard. You should suffer while you're getting it." He said, "Why do you want it to be fast? That's what's wrong with these people." He said, "That's what's wrong with everybody these days. Is everybody wants it fast. Everybody wants a quick solution. They don't want to suffer. They don't want to go through no pain. They don't want to go through no trials and tribulations. They don't want to have to take a journey. Everybody just wants it right now." It's the same thing with people today. People want to be great, but they don't want to take that step on that journey that they know is going to be rough and ragged. It's going to have all kinds of different terrains. You're going to be climbing up hills, climbing up mountains, sliding backwards, and you got to keep on climbing. And they don't want to do that. They would rather achieve greatness without having to do any of that at all. And that's the difference. Excuse me. Excuse me. Man, these allergies really ain't playing with me. But that is the difference between the people who make it versus the people who don't make it. The people who fail. You don't want to be associated in the category of those who failed. You want to be associated with the category who climbed to the top, who may have failed, who slid back down that mountain but kept climbing up. I mean, think about all the different artists out there who have failed so many times in their careers and their endeavors to become great, to become famous, to be where they're at now. How many times they slid backwards off of their mountains, off of their hills, and they kept climbing up, kept climbing up, kept climbing up. Eminem said it himself in one of his songs that he didn't think that rapping was for him at one point. He thought he was going to have to find something else to do because for so long it wasn't working out for him. I mean, he was flipping burgers and cooking at fast food restaurants before he started before his music career took off the way it did. When Tupac left the earth, he was flipping burgers in a kitchen in a restaurant. And everybody. I'm gonna get you up on out of here. Everybody has a journey they must take. Everybody has a journey they must walk down. Everybody has a path of suffering, of agony, of pain, depression, sadness. Everybody has to go through that to achieve greatness. Now, your path to greatness is not going to be the same as the next person's path. Everybody's path leads them to different destinations. Everybody's journey to greatness leads them to different places. So where you may be great at, somebody else ain't going to be great at. But what they may be great at, you ain't going to be great at. Everybody else's path leads them down to different successes, different niches, so to speak. So when you see when you sit around and you see somebody doing something that they became great at it, and you trying to do the same thing and it just won't work for you, is because that's not meant for you. You aren't meant to take that path. There is another path that you were supposed to take. You just have to find it, figure it out, and then chase down that path until you reach the end. Just keep going. It may be a 1,000,000-mile journey, but once you hit the end, once you make that millionth mile walk, you will feel the most accomplished. I'm gonna get you one out of here. You will feel the most accomplished that you will have ever felt in your entire life when you reach the end of that 1,000,000-mile journey. But people these days don't understand that. These days, people would rather sit in their mom's basement. They would rather sit in mom's basement playing video games, playing the new Fortnite season that just came out. Oh man, it's the new OG map, man. The OG map came back. Oh my gosh, I gotta get on the game. They would rather do that. They would rather play Modern Warfare 3. They would rather play the new 2K. They would rather play all these different things and be quote unquote great at those, when that brings you nothing. You don't. I'm gonna get you up one out of here. Do not fit. You can't run a mile, much less walk one. You could probably breathe the amount of air that would fit within the radius of a mile, because that's how much you need to breathe every time you breathe in. That's how much you need. Uh, but being in your mom's basement playing video games all the time doesn't bring you nothing in the physical realm. It does not manifest anything to you. Maybe on the internet, but not in real life. See, that's what another thing that y'all gotta understand. The internet and real life are two very different realities. You can sit here and play a character all the time. Charleston White say he do it all the time. Charleston White say he do it all the time. He say he play a character every time. He said it himself. Every single time he turns that camera on, he is acting for the internet. Versus in real life, what he does. Completely two different things. So when you sit around and you try to become great on the internet, but you don't do anything in real life, it negates itself. Because you can't be great on the internet and not be great in real life. You could be great in real life, but not on the internet. But you can't be great on the internet and not be great in real life. It just does not work like that. To be great in the internet reality, you have to be great outside of it. But if you're not, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. But you could be great outside in real life and not be great on the internet. That's how David Goggins was before he came on the internet. He was great in real life. That's how Top G was before he came on the internet. Before him and his brother came on the internet, they were great in real life. They became world champion kickboxers. David Goggins joined every branch in the military and completed all of it. I mean, this is Mike Tyson. He was the greatest boxer of all time. Still is considered the greatest boxer of all time. Before the internet was a thing, all these people, they were great outside of the internet in real life. Then when the internet came, they became great in the internet. But you can't be great on the internet and not be great in real life. It won't work like that. It won't work like that. Because you need to be great in real life to be great on the internet. You see so many people who are out of this world unfit. Out of this world unfit. On the internet. Playing games, eating pizza, eating Taco Bell, McDonald's, eating the McChickens and chicken nuggets, whatever the case may be. They eating Chick-fil-A and Whataburger, and they playing games, or they watching stuff on a stream, or whatever the case may be. They are out of this world, unfit. They may be quote-unquote great to some people on the internet, but in reality, they're not. They have nothing to show for it. They have nothing to show for in reality. You can't be like that. You have to be great in real life. To achieve greatness, you have to become greatness. And the way that you become greatness is by taking that first step on that journey. Pain, sadness, anger, rage, depression, anxiety. You want to quit. You want to give up. You feel like you ain't never going to make it. You got to keep going on that path. Otherwise, it will all have been for nothing. So many people, they swear, I swear, man, I'm going to make it one day and I'm going to retire my parents. But guess what they end up doing? They put their parents in a retirement home. Why? Because they started that journey, but not even halfway through it. Not even halfway through it, they stopped. They gave up. They didn't even turn around. They just sat down and laid down and gave up. It can't be like that. And their parents look at them like they're failures. Well, you said you were going to do this. You said you were going to do that. Now look, you're not even You're not even, you ain't even retired your parents. Your parents is in a retirement home with people who don't even care about them, t- taking care of them. They're like doctors. Doctors, they don't care about their patients. They care about their paychecks. They don't care about their patients. They care about their paychecks. Just like the nursing home people, they don't care about their patients. They care about their paychecks. So how is it that you can live with yourself, putting your parents in a retirement home full of people who don't care about them? That's wild to me. And some people, they're like, no, man, when my parents get old, I ain't taking care of them. They're going to a retirement home. Like, come on, man. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some people out there who have kids who don't deserve for their kids to take care of them because they didn't do what they were supposed to do for their kids. They weren't there the way they were supposed to be there for their kids. So that's understandable. That is a legitimate reason for your parents to go to a retirement home. But if you are just a ignorant person who cares about literally nothing but himself, you say, I'm not taking care of my parents. You, like, there's no amount of shame, no amount of shame that could weigh you down in the world. No amount of shame. Retirement home takes away from inheritance. Not even that, bro. It's your parents. If your parents are there doing what they're supposed to do for you, it's disrespectful to just throw them off in a retirement home like they don't even matter. Yes, they made the choice to procreate, to have you in their family, but they also made sacrifices for it too. They sacrificed everything to make sure that you have what you need. It's just like some parents who they make sacrifices for their kids to go to college, and their kids finally get into college, and their kids drop out or they get kicked out of college, and now the parents are just angry at them because they wanted their kids to go to college and become more quote unquote more successful. I mean, you can't really get successful in college. There's nothing that teaches you to become successful in college, but they want their kids to be greater than they were, and they failed at it because they dropped out of college. They got kicked out of college. It is to spit in the face to your parents when you disrespect them in that way. And not only is it disrespectful to their parents, it's disrespectful to your family name. It's disrespectful to your ancestors, to your lineage. It's disrespectful to your bloodline, to your people. It's disrespectful to everything. I'm gonna get you up on that here because you're talking way too much. Way too much. Way too much. It is disrespectful to your entire bloodlines of existence. Disrespectful to fail. It's just like what Tom G said one time. He has his father's last name, so he is obligated to not fail. He is obligated to do what he is supposed to do. He is obligated to become the greatest that he possibly ever could be. Yeah, he said way too much. I'm gonna get you up on out of here. He said way too much, and then he sent it to his backup account so he could come back in here. That's wild. But no, man, you have an obligation to make your last name great. Most people these days, they don't. They sit back and they become a part of the system. They become a puppet in the system. They don't do what they're supposed to do. They go to work, they go home, eat, go to sleep, wake up, go to work, go home, eat, go to sleep, wake up, go to work, go home, eat, sleep. Over and 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 over again. They live these miserable lives. And it makes me wonder how people can be so comfortable living with barely anything. Makes me wonder. How are you so comfortable in living with barely anything? crazy. Now, some people say, well, I'm a minimalist, man. I don't need much. At that point, you just capping. At that point, it's just cope. If you sit here and you say, well, I don't need much, man, this is just all I need, and you don't barely have anything at all because you're part of the system, you're a puppet in the system, that is coping because you realize that you are in the system and you realize that you are too lazy to get out of that system. So you just make up these excuses to convince yourself that that's how you should be. No, that ain't how you should be. Quit sitting around and coping and sit around and come up with a plan to get out. Because one day you're not going to be able to. The exit for the simulation will close and it'll be too late. Just like that on, what's that one movie? What's that one movie? Oh, man. The Truman Show. When he realized that he was in the simulation and he figured out where the door was to get out. So he got on that boat and he took off for that door. That window for you is closing if you don't get out when you're supposed to get out. So you need to do what you need to do to make sure that you can get out. That's 100% facts in my opinion. Too many people sit there and they watch that window as it closes. They're like, oh, look at that. It's closing. It's too late. I can't get to it now. Oh, well, time to go back to work. It's like when you hit too much flour and you just gone. And you see the most simplest thing, but it just amazes you for some reason. That's how these people act when they see that window close. Oh no, look, it's closing. There it goes. I can't get out now. Time to go back to work. And they go back to their 9-to-5 job, slaving away, working away, paying taxes to the people who don't care about them, working for a job who don't truly care about them. They wonder why their lives suck. Because you chose not to. You chose not to go through that window. So don't choose not to go through that window. So yeah, man, with that being said, make sure y'all share with your friends, your families, momies, your aunties, your grannies, and everybody else that y'all know. Your boy Elevation and Growth will be going live later on to do his show, so make sure y'all go tap in over there as well. And with that being said, I'm getting out of here. Deuces. Got things I got to take care of.